Hello YouTube, this is Jamie from yugiohmcc. If you've been watching the dueling videos that I put up today, or it might have been tomorrow, depending on how quick they upload, you'd have seen the Naturia deck against 6 Sams and Dragunity, and I didn't expect it to do that well because I'd only just put it together, but the deck works really well together, so I thought I'd put up a deck profile. We'll start off with the monsters. We've got my Josh Leon. I know he's a reptile and he's not a Naturia, but it works really well with the overall deck. Naturia Marion is basically the scrap recycler of the Naturia decks. You summon him, add a Naturia from your deck to your graveyard, and then once per turn while he's on the field, you can add 2 from your graveyard to your deck and draw a card. Horn Needle. When your opponent special summons a monster, I can tribute a face-up Naturia and destroy the special summon monster. Naturia Cosmobeat. When my opponent normal summons, I can special summon him from my hand. Naturia Guardian. Attack 1600. He has when an opponent normal summons, he gains 300 attack until the end phase. Spore works really well, especially with the plants, because when he's in the graveyard I can remove him, bring him back, and then I can synchro really easily by adding their stars onto him. Naturia White Oak. Basically, he's just a strong card. He's quite a strong Naturia card. Naturia Pumpkin. Normal summon him. If your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon any Naturia card, doesn't matter what level, from your hand. Then I have 2 Naturia Mosquitoes. These are really useful. If you've got a Naturia on the field, summon one. Your opponent cannot attack Mosquito, and when they attack any other Naturia, they take the battle damage that you should have taken. 3 Ladybugs. The best off in the grave. When you synchro, Naturia synchro, you can special summon them and then destroy them, and your synchro gains 1000 for each one that's destroyed. 2 Naturia Beans. I use these with Mosquito. I summon a Beans, summon a Mosquito, and then Beans cannot be destroyed up to once, so I attack them. They lose the battle damage because of Mosquito's effect, and Naturia Beans is not destroyed. 2 Stink Bogs. When your opponent declares an attack, you can destroy him and end the battle phase. 2 Naturia Butterflies. When your opponent declares an attack once per turn, you can discard a card and negate the attack. We have 3 Mantis. You can discard a Naturia from your hand to the graveyard and destroy a normal summon monster. 2 Naturia Stag Beetle. These are perfect for when you summon Pumpkin because it's a higher level, big attack. And when your opponent activates a spell or trap, you can special summon a Naturia from your graveyard. And the last 2 Naturia monsters are Naturia Dragonfly. This card is so broke, it should be banned, but it isn't. Basically, it's on 1 to 100 attack. For every Naturia in your graveyard, it gains 200 attack, which halfway through the duel you've got 10, 11, 12, so it's really boosted to, it's on 3000, 4000 attack. And it cannot be destroyed by a monster with more than 2000 attack, so as soon as you reach 2000, a monster cannot destroy him. That's all the monsters. Next we'll go on to the spells. Gravekeeper Servant is a good way to deck out, like make your opponent lose monsters and cards for attacking. Spiritual Forest. If one of my plant monsters would be destroyed, they're not. Lightning Vortex, staple card, you all know what it does. Verdant Sanctuary. When a insect is destroyed, I can add the same level from my deck to my hand. Leo Drake's Mane. For 1 turn only, you boost up any Naturia's attack to 3000. Insect Neglect. When your opponent declares an attack, you can remove from play an insect in your graveyard and negate the attack. Backing's back. If I control the face-up Naturia monster, my opponent cannot activate traps this turn. Naturia Forest. If you negate the activation of a card your opponent controls, I can add a level 1 to 3 or lower Naturia from my hand. It's a field spell. Dark Hole is a staple. Monster Reincarnation. Only running this because I haven't got a Monster Reborn for this deck yet. Card Destruction. Now, for me the perfect first hand would be Card Destruction with the 3 Ladybirds, because straight away they're in the graveyard where they're supposed to be, where they are best. And an MST. I've got like Dark Hole, MST, Lightning Vortex, things like that, Gravekeeper Certain, because to me a Naturia deck is supposed to negate and annoy your opponent and stop them doing anything, so adding MSTs etc. does that really well. The traps are Trap Hole, Call of the Haunted, Exterior's Fang. If I have a face-up Naturia and 1 card or more in my hand, I can negate a spell or a trap and destroy it, and send the card to the graveyard. Does Tornado, 2 Separates of Armors, and 3 Lair Wire. I can remove from play an insect from my graveyard and destroy 1 monster my opponent controls. For the extra deck, I have 2 XYZs. I have Grenosaurus, which I don't use that often. Illuminite, again, not used that often with the Naturias, but it does come out. Alley of Justice Gazer, I do get this out quite a bit. Alley of Justice Field Marshal, again, one of the most used. I have 2 Landois, to me, probably the best Naturia Synchro. You can discard a spell card from a hand and negate the effect of a monster and destroy it. I have Leo Drake. Basically, he's just a 3000 beat stick, but he's a really good card when you get him out. And I am getting Barkian and Beast so soon, and I got Naturia Exterior today, just waiting for Barkian and Beast to get here. And they're basically the synchros and the extra deck. Now, Naturia Exterior is basically just a beasted up version of all the other synchros. And that is the Naturia extra deck and the Naturia deck. If you haven't seen the Naturia dueling against the other cards, have a look and then you'll understand what I mean when I say it does really well as that deck format right there. Subscribe, and that's it.